Hey guys, my name is JessiMew, and welcome back to Adam's Quest. In the last episode, our tribe all banded together to get ready for the very first snowfall, which now marks the beginning of winter as we know it. Unfortunately, the flurries in the sky have disappeared, but I have a feeling that the snow is not going to be far behind. Sometimes when the game changes the weather like this, the snow still piles up, so I guess we'll see once we skip the day. But either way, our tribe is ready, and a lot of it is thanks to Duke Nuke. He's very familiar with Melody's blessings, so he knew how to band his tribe together. And of course, he had a little bit of help from Anako too. I'm sure he's looking for her right now. He knows that her wings have taken her very far away, and it's those messages that are going to keep the tribe together. She can fly to the creatures who are even on the very outskirts of our tribe, those who have wandered through the darkness, so I think it would be a good idea for these two to think about starting a family. If we could get the heat body on our winged creatures, they would be able to save anybody who's trapped out in the snow. So maybe we'll have him scoot his way down the mountain. Maybe he'll even take some of these flowers along the way. We'll have him jump way up here, searching for her all the while she finishes guiding her family. Charm is on his very last day after all, and he only has 2 turns thanks to the cold. So if he wants to see his new baby, well actually he probably won't get the chance to see his new baby, will he? Marina's going to have to settle down inside one of the nests, but still, at least he'll get the chance to spend a little bit of extra time with Dasher, and he can still watch the birth of his new baby from afar. So we'll have Anako very gently guide him over to the hot springs. I wonder if he could even jump inside this one. It would bring him just a tiny bit closer. So let's have Laurana move out of the way, making room for him of course thanks to all that he's done for her. And then I suppose we could have her build a brand new nest right next to his side. That way he can share all the fish that he gathered with her. So come on over here, Marina, plant down your nest right next to the hot springs, and then let's make sure that Dasher can get in on the action too. We'll have him curl up in these clovers so your entire family can be all together. Aside from Scrooge, though given his attitude, I'm not surprised that he doesn't want anything to do with a family gathering. In fact, he seems far more interested in gathering up all of these little flowers now. He's discovered that he can just hang them from those giant horns of his, so it's much easier for him to carry around than all those shells. He is getting a little bit cold though, and since he knows that the heat bodies can be so useful, maybe he would come over here to the nursery. We could even have him settle down inside one of the nests for now, just taking a little bit of a rest. Surely Clove won't mind. I don't think she would really take notice anyways. Unless she sees all of the flowers that he is carrying. That would be the perfect way for her to repair all of these nests, so she might want to get to know him after all. I kind of feel like Cuckoo would probably go off and search for his adopted child pretty soon. We haven't seen the blind baby in quite some time. That's actually why Mistletoe is still searching out here. He wanted to see if he could find him again. I mean, he is really good at sniffing out food, so if we do find him, we'll probably find some good resources too. But aside from that, I'm sure that Cuckoo is very worried, so since everything is taken care of over here, let's have him start making his way around the mountain as well. I guess that's actually going to lead him straight toward Laurana, which is kind of interesting. He has the heat body, and while her previous mate didn't, he did have Melody's blessing hidden deep down inside. That's what allowed Duke Nuke to inherit the heat body when he was born, so I wonder if she can feel a little bit of a connection there. They would be able to have healthy babies together, so that's why I'm curious if they could start a little family. She's so close to the end of her days, she still doesn't really know what to do with her bluebird feathers, and since she is known for starting up some very quick romances, maybe we'll see if we can set up their mutation menus. Of course, because of the stripe situation, we'll want to make sure that we fill his first slot with the stripes. He has the mask in both of his slots, so I'm not sure if we're going to see it or not, but at least it gives us a chance. And as for his second gene, we'll go ahead and place the normal blood clotting into his mutation menu, just so we can try to keep the hemophilia out of our tribe. Goodness knows we don't need that taking over any of our tribe mates again. Now I suppose for Laurana, just to give her babies a bit of a boost, let's try to weasel the Megalosaurus horns into her inactive traits. Now go ahead and breed with Cuckoo, and then I guess we should probably set you up with a nest right now. I mean, this isn't the safest place for you to raise a baby, but at the same time, you really don't have that much time to work with. I guess we could have Coco jump down here just in case. She would probably nudge her baby out of that old nest too. She has to repair it after all. Maybe we'll just have her tidy it up for now. We can gather up the nesting material so we can make this place nice and clean, and it'll be ready for all of her patients in the future. Of course, I'm sure she would try to nudge her little baby Jingle over to the nursery too. That would be a better place for him to play, but he is a little bit distracted right now. Since he does have the digging paw, I'm sure he wants to gather up this root if he can, so once he grows a second gem, we'll have him gather that extra food for us. Now, since Mistletoe is all on his own searching for that baby, and we know that he is hardy enough to survive anyways, let's bring Anako way up here so she can finally reunite with Duke Nukier. She knows that bright gleaming fur better than anything, and I think it's pretty safe to say that she's probably developed quite the crush. So let's see if we can set up their mutation menus too right off the bat. Now I definitely want to place the wings in his mutation menu. In fact, I'm thinking about filling it up completely. He does have the stripes in his inactive traits, so maybe if we place it into her mutation menu, we might actually see the stripes on his babies instead. Honestly, if his babies had the stripes, and if Lorana took notice, I am considering passing the bluebird feathers straight over to his babies instead. She might even give him the feathers just for safekeeping, because I know he would make an excellent leader. It is a little bit of a diversion since he doesn't have the stripes, and that's one thing that Adam's family has been working to keep in their line. But we know that eventually it's going to pop up again, so I guess she would make an exception for him. Now, why don't you go ahead and try to dig up that root for us? I had a feeling it wouldn't work, but she might as well try for her baby. And then let's bring Mistletoe deeper into the darkness. Because he has the gills, he can't really smell at all, so we might as well have him travel with his hearing senses enabled. It'll give him a better view of what's around here, and if we happen to run into that baby, it'll be much easier for us to see him as well. Let's have you go toward the shores. He always did seem to prefer the beaches, so maybe he's still looking for more fish out here. It's kind of funny that a wanderer was the one who managed to find us like all of our fish. How long had we been searching for fish over on this side of the island, only for us to discover that all of our algae is way over here instead? If not for him, we probably never would have found it at all. Oh, and Duke Nukier, we want to make sure that you breed with Anako too. That way she should be able to build her nest in the next turn. And then I wonder if Prophet might suggest to Ginger that she takes all of her power up to the highest peaks. He spent his days way up here on the stumps calling out to the ancestors, and he knows what a great view you can get. So since she is part of our family of knights, she would be able to see the danger coming for miles. I feel like Prophet has found himself quite smitten with this lady too. Not only is she very, very strong, but she is clearly quite capable. So let's bring her right up here, and he can settle down on top of this stump and light up all of this land for her too. We better have them sniff around just in case. He knows that there are plenty of roots up here, but there could be some danger now that we've spent so much time away. I wonder if he would even call out to Silver. They did have a bit of bad blood between them. Really, it was just Prophet who was afraid to trust him. But now that his mind has been changed by Duke Nukier, maybe it's time for him to invite Silver up here to actually dig up the food. So if you would be willing to abandon the comfort of the hot springs for a moment, let's have you scoot on over to this side, and you can dig up this nice tasty root for us. I'm sure that will put a little spring back in his step. He's felt a little bit bad ever since they found the wonderful Duke Phantom, the incredible digging trunk. His food collecting powers is certainly something special. He can collect 5 pieces of food every single time he finds a root after all, so it is definitely nothing to scoff at. I guess we could have Cinnamon help him bury the fallen for now. We have quite a few creatures over here that we need to set to rest. We'll bring him over here so he can warm up next to Clove, and then we'll have Cinnamon try to sniff out some more roots. That big nose is going to be very helpful too. So we have one more root over here, And then another one right next to his stump. Is this not the very same stump that he used to play on when he was a kid? That was kind of how he met Catnip, wasn't it? So it's kind of funny that he's returned here after all this time. So now with quite a few new babies being born, let's go ahead and skip the day. We might as well go straight over to our bluebird leader, just to see if she's going to have a baby with the stripes. Oh yes, a baby with the stripes indeed! And the derp snout too. But it looks like he actually has a heat body? Yes, excellent! Oh, so Melody must be smiling upon your family too. And I did take notice. It looks like the snow is still falling, so that's a good sign. That means that winter is still here. So we're still progressing toward the inevitable warm-up when all of these glaciers are going to melt. So it also looks like our heat bodies are doing their job. I think all of these tiles around our heat bodies are staying warmer, so the snow isn't falling here. Oh, that is truly perfect. That's the best way that we could possibly make pathways. In fact, if we have a whole bunch of these heat-bodied creatures lighting up the pathways for us, our tribe will never get lost in the snow again. So what was your name, little one? Van Ronu? Well, that's a cute name. Yeah, I wonder if she's going to give her bluebird feathers to this baby after all. He does have the stripes, he has Melody's blessing, so surely there would be no better baby. Though she is going to have to make sure that somebody can take care of him. And I wonder if that's just going to end up being Coco? Since he's so close to the Siren Springs anyways, maybe he would spend his childhood right here with the healers. It would certainly give him a different perspective. No war and no enemies. And maybe that's just what our bluebird leader needs. He'll even have a brand new little playmate over here, who seems to have the gills yet again. Oh, she is interesting though. The gills combined with those megalosaurus horns. That is a pretty interesting combination. That might actually be one of my favorite combinations yet as far as those giant horns go. I like how those tiny little fins are right underneath them. So we already have a Dasher and her brother? Let's name this little baby Dancer. That seems awfully fitting with her 2 swift feet. Ooh, and just like her brother, she does have the home island gene too, so thank goodness we have another opportunity to let that live on. It was getting a little bit scarce in the tribe, but there's our guarantee that it's not going to die off anytime soon. Unfortunately, the same can't be said for our elders, and Charm has left us now. But at least we have somebody nearby who can set his remains right to rest. So we don't have to wait a moment more, we can just have Jingle go ahead and dig up those roots right there. And then we'd best change his gems over too. I guess for his family, we'll go with the pink color just like his mother. I'm sure that Clove's family after all, and maybe even Prophets as well, are going to inherit the flower crown combination instead. So we have to separate these families somehow. Now I don't think we have very much longer before Marina passes away too. So maybe it would be a good idea for us to search for another route. It'll be a little bit tougher for us to find these now that there is so much snow. It's much harder to see on the white background. But I think Dasher has a few down here by the hot springs. So why don't you call Jingle over this way, so he'll be able to dig up both of these on the next turn. We could settle him down right here in the hot springs, so we'll be all nice and toasty warm, because he's going to struggle a little bit without his family by his side. Coco is just a bit too busy as it is to really take care of him, especially as her own leader is pressing so much responsibility into her paws. I wonder what'll happen if we move the heat bodies? I mean, Cuckoo's still heading out this way too? Oh, but he's going to need somebody to guide him? I just remembered he does have the short-sighted eyes. Yeah, if we don't have somebody traveling with him, it is going to take ages for him to get over to where Mistletoe is. So who would be able to act as his eyes here? Maybe Dasher? He won't be able to keep himself warm either, but I wonder if that heat body's going to be enough. Let's have you jump on ahead, maybe right on top of the stump if we can. There we go. So you can really let up the way for him, and he can try to get as far as he possibly can, and you two can just huddle up together for now. So as far as the snow goes, it definitely doesn't melt as we move our creatures. I guess every turn that we pass, all of the tiles around them are going to melt away. So that's good to know. It's not going to melt as we bring our creatures through the mountains, but it's still a good way for us to carve our own paths day by day. So still no sign of the blind baby out here? Oh, wait a second. Oh, is this our little blind friend? Oh my goodness, he looks so cold. He did find one of the roots, but he's frozen too. Oh, no wonder we couldn't find him. Oh, the poor thing, little Venuvant, that was his name. Well, good thing you managed to find him, Cuckoo. You can come on over there and warm him up right on the next turn. Maybe Mistletoe would even notice his paw prints in the snow, so we can start bringing him back this way too. And you know, we're probably going to have to scoot Coco over here instead, because if Marina is going to pass away, she's also going to have to take care of Dancer too. Oh, you are going to have so much on your paws, little one. So many babies to wrangle. Marina knows that you're fit for the job, though. You make a very, very good mother, even if you are a little bit scatterbrained with all of this responsibility on your mind. Oh no, Clove, it looks like you have another nest to repair, and how fitting that's the one that Scrooge is sitting on. Well, surely you can convince him to part with a couple of those flowers. That way you can weave them straight into the nest again. I wonder if he would find himself impressed with your ways? I mean, he doesn't like sharing his stuff, but he can see that you are quite the little master artisan. Maybe he would even be hit by a little wave of inspiration, and he would want to travel down to the shores with Cinnamon and Duke Fanta. Let's have him dig up this root right here first, and then I think there's another one over here. Yep, right by that stump. So jump on top of this thing and grab this one too. And as the nose of the operation scoots forward, we'll have Scrooge follow in your shadow, and we'll see if maybe he can find some shells at this time to offer up to Clove. Looks like the shores are still unfortunately bare, but he's not going to give up. Maybe he's even hiding his stash down here somewhere, and he's just coming over here to retrieve it. Now the rest of the food collecting duty is going on you, Silver. Oh no, and he's a little bit cold too. Do we even have any more roots up here? Oh my gosh, it is so hard to see. Ginger, we might have to have you light up the way. Let's bring her over to this side with that big nose of hers. Yeah, she can light up plenty. So come on over here, Silver. He should be safe for one more turn. I know that he's getting a little bit cold, but if we dig up this one, he can settle down into the hot springs on the next turn and dig up that other root from the safety of the springs. Now let's bring Ginger over to the stump. If we could have them breed on this turn, she could set up her nest right next to the stump on the top of the hill. And how fitting would that be? Here's where he once strayed from the tribe, but now he's going to stay here right next to his family. And it's finally bringing strength back to the Oracle line too. Since we do want them to keep that sword and shield combo if possible, I think we're going to place both the Bearina Claw and the Mammoth Foot into Prophet's mutation menu. That way there's still the chance that they will inherit both. Let's see the Mammoth Foot first, and then we'll go ahead and drop the Bearina Claw in too. There we go. Now Ginger has a couple of flaws that I do want to take a closer look at. The infertility gene, for instance. Let's go ahead and place the high fertility into her first slot, and then the antennas into the second. Have to make sure that a couple more strong oracles are born after all. So go ahead and breed with Ginger, that way she'll be able to place down her nest. And then I'm so tempted to have him sing into the skies, just for good luck, you know? We do have some bluebirds still fluttering around the skies too, so let's see if he can call good fortune to his baby. A song to the sky to summon his ancestors. And on the flip side, I would imagine that these two would be much more interested in Solaris. So let's have them scoot on over to all of these flowers. We could have Duke Nukier settle down next to them, pick them up for a nest, and then Anako should be able to build it right on top of the stump. I'm a little bit worried about her though. I guess the heat body isn't enough to warm up the other creatures. That's a bit unfortunate. It only melts the snow, but it doesn't provide any warmth to the creatures standing next to them. So at least with the new baby, they'll be able to keep her warm too. 3 creatures is all we need to receive that buff. So I think that's all the safe turns that we can make. Everybody else is just keeping our other creatures warm. And of course the Rana is just about to pass away too. So as we say goodbye to our bluebird leader again, we're going to be passing on those bluebird feathers straight over to her baby. I guess that makes it a good time for us to set you up as the alpha of the tribe too, with the bluebird feather tucked right behind your ear. Now with all the babies gathered around her, let's have her sniff into the darkness, just to make sure that nobody is lurking about. No dangers have spawned with all the snow. Everything looks relatively quiet. Do we still have our little blind wanderer out here? He was in the snow, right? Oh, has he actually moved away? Oh my goodness, I wonder where he went. Did he get completely buried? I mean, as far as I know, it's not like he could move. Well, let's have Cuckoo jump up here, maybe lighting up the way toward the hot spring for his friend. And hopefully we'll find our little wanderer. Oh no, I think he truly disappeared. Oh, he's feeling better. Kind of. He's still frozen, but he definitely moved. That is quite mysterious. Well, let's bring Cuckoo right over to his side. Oh, you're frozen, but you are moving around? Oh my gosh, how bizarre. He's like a little zombie. Well, maybe Mistletoe can warm you up? He does have one more turn, so if you settle down next to him, he might be able to take away that debuff. That way you won't be taking any more damage. How strange, though. The zombie plague is descending upon the cliffs. Hopefully it won't reach our tribe. It's a good thing he knows a bit of healing from his mate as well. That's probably why Mistletoe was able to come to his aid. He remembers how skilled Coco was with her healing powers, and she could probably heal all the damage on our wanderer too. But first, now that you have even more work ahead of you, Chingle, you better go ahead and take up that extra root. And then let's see if you guys can find anything else. I think we're going to have to ask the baby to find some roots for you soon. I forgot what a terrible sense of smell you have, and Dancer definitely isn't any help herself. Unfortunately, he's a little bit too young to do anything right now, and I really don't want him moving away from Coco. I know that bluebird is way over on the other side of the mountain, but I just don't want to take any chances. So I guess we're going to have to wait for the next turn to bury all of those fallen tribe mates. But oh my goodness, Clove. I hope Scrooge left you with a couple of those extra flowers, because you have a lot of nest to repair. I guess she should probably be the one to flatten out the snow too. We'll have her try her best to keep the nursery clear. All she really needs is Scrooge's aid, as soon as he finds his stash of shells. Yeah, I'm guessing that he has them hidden pretty well down here somewhere, because no new ones are spawning. So let's have him jump into this hot spring instead, then he can carve his way over to the nursery from the back. That'll provide a good pathway to the nursery for the babies too, especially with everyone else so busy. I guess we'll want to have Cinnamon try his best to guide Duke Fanta over to this hot spring next. Hopefully he can make it there in time, and then we'll see if you guys can find any roots over on this side of the mountain instead. It is looking pretty bare though, unless I'm missing them. I think most of the roots are located up on the top peaks now. Well, that's a bit unfortunate, but at least we know that Silver can keep up on the task. Go ahead and grab this root for us, and then settle down in those hot springs just like you were planning. Is our little wanderer splashing around in the hot springs too? I hear all that noise back here. It sounds like he's having a good deal of fun now that he's nice and toasty warm again. So come on over here, Cinnamon. Light up the way and see what you can smell. No dangers, right? That's part of what you're going to have to watch out for too. With your sword and your shield, you are our front line of defense. Now we'd best see if our other babies have any blessings themselves. Oh, it looks like Solaris took notice. Now do you have the heat body? Oh, yes you do. Oh my goodness, both of the things that we were looking for. The only thing he's missing are the patterns. He doesn't have the mask, he doesn't have the stripes, but it's still very, very good to see. You are the perfect mix of your parents, and you'll bring warmth to everyone who needs it. So I think it's only fitting that we name this baby Phoenix, and in the next episode, hopefully we'll see him take to the skies. Before we end out this episode though, let's just see what the Oracle's baby looks like. Oh my goodness, she actually has the Megalosaurus horns? That is one trait that I was not expecting to see. It must be because Ginger passed them, and I guess they're actually a little bit more dominant than the antennas. No wonder our oracles are so rare. Actually, let's see what her father says about the weather next. In 5 days it's going to snow again. Okay, so we're not looking at any heat waves anytime soon. Winter is still here, and it sounds like it's going to stay for quite some time. But oh my goodness. Talk about a little beast. She actually has a 10 in strength. If she had the Berryina snout, she would have a 12 in strength. That is crazy. Well, she's gonna be one to watch for sure, and she also has the home island gene again, so she is very, very important, despite her lack of antennas. But that doesn't mean that she couldn't pull it out for some of her future babies. Maybe that'll be the way that the oracles live on. So a name that one of you suggested for Prophet's babies was Paladin, and I think that's very fitting for this little beast. She might not have the shield, but she is a knight nonetheless, and she's going to make sure that everybody in our tribe is safe as can be. So in the next episode, we'll continue our oracle family with one more baby before Prophet passes. Maybe this will be the lucky one. And then of course we'll see as Phoenix takes to the skies. He is a messenger built strictly for the mountains, and I'm sure that his mother is going to teach him very well. But for now, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye guys!